What have we got here? Let's see. Welcome to First Pitch Live.
Good morning. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. It is Regional Sunday Baseball. We got Smitty and the Rock, the Slippery Rock. I don't know if they're playing in regional baseball. It's always good to have a nice, good quality, lower tier baseball team to support. Smitty, what's going on?
Good morning. Glad to be back. Another wild day yesterday. I'm going to try to go over all the big news and also try to find those winners.
It has been madness, to say the least. Thought we had UCLA on the ropes. They're taking left and rights. 5-3 heading into the ninth. And then Levu, however you say his last name, and then Roman Martin just hit absolutely two straight piss missiles, one to right field, one to left field. They end up walking it off with a single. They're playing a five-man softball defense, and they got burned in left field. So they escape. They will now face Cal Poly tonight, assuming they win the matchup between them and St. Mary's today. St. Mary's obviously beat them 3-2 to put them in the loser's bracket. What else kind of gave your opinion last night? I know we're kind of running off no energy. I was up till about 1:30 watching the Gators. What else did you see yesterday? Maybe more in the day slate that surprised you, Smitty?
Southern Miss going 0-2 on their home field. You know, if you look over their two regional games and then the championship game in the Sun Belt, pitching staff gave up 29 runs. That was one. Q.
Yeah.
I texted you something yesterday, and you wrote back to me and said, their pitching just disappeared. I mean, if you look again in the Sun Belt Championship, they won the game, but they gave up still like 7 runs. It's just too many runs. That's one. You got to be impressed with Texas right now. I know they played Holy Cross and Tarleton State, but they're outscoring. They're up 35-3 in the 2 games right now. The offense is showing up. So they're looking like being the number 1 seed there in Austin. You can tell they're the number 1 seed, and why I still think they're gonna win the College World Series. So that one, and then Q. I mean, one more. You got to talk about Milwaukee. I mean, what in the world is going on here with this team? I mean, I think if you look at their schedule, they had like 3 or 4 wins early in the season. They went on an 8-game winning streak, like I think maybe in like April or maybe late March. Maybe it was late. No, it was in April. They went on an 8-game winning streak. I mean, they're scoring runs, man. I mean, 13 runs against Auburn, 13 against Central Florida. I mean, out of their last 6 games, 4 games, they've scored 10 or more runs.
They're hot. Remember, guys, they have a losing record. They have to win their tournament. I believe that in the Horizon League, on a walk-off home run, and then they put up a 10 spot unanswered against Auburn. They win that game 13-8, I believe, or 13-9. Then last night against a Central Florida squad who has pretty solid pitching, they do the same thing. They are on an absolute tear. Man, it's crazy to think they're in the final. And now they have obviously a chance to potentially play Auburn again. But they're going in that game with a lot of confidence. Auburn will go in there motivated if presumably Auburn gets there today. But, man, we're looking at some crazy, crazy super regionals. If Milwaukee wins, if Cal Poly somehow wins, Marty Chamberlain says Milwaukee team total was like 3.5 yesterday. Could be looking at it again today. Man, you would think the last 2 games they would kind of up that. But it'll be interesting. If they don't, Marty, hammer that because they're
be all over that one, Marty.
Another game, I want to go back to the Southern Miss real quick. They were so hot coming into the playoffs. I think they're finally just kind of cooling down. I mean, they were like 10-0 in their last 10. Couldn't do anything wrong, and now it's starting to catch up to them. They just – I don't want to say tired, but their pitching, like I said, it just kind of fell off a cliff. And when you're that hot, you can't stay at the sun for too long before you start burning out. And I think that's what happened there in Hattiesburg. But, man, talk about the ejections. John Paoni is no longer available for UVA for 4 games. So if they win today, that's 1 game. Tonight would be 2 games. if they make it to the finals. If they force the if game tomorrow, that's 3. And then that leaves them still without game 1 in the Super Regionals. So for pitchers, man, 4 games is an insane amount. In my opinion, they need to look at that rule. That's just too much. With that being said, another ejection that we found out post-game from Bradley Smart from D1, Kyle Johnson got tossed after his home run celebration. Coming around second base, you could see him jawing. I don't know exactly at who, but he was definitely fired up. He is ejected for 1 game. So, again, they were without him for today's afternoon slate. He'll be able to play tonight's game. But that's big. One of your better bats in that lineup, one of your leaders, your guy, Chris Pollard Trust, is no longer available in that elimination game. So watch out for that against a Jack State team who's fired up, wants to get back to the regional finals there. And then Texas, like you said, they weren't going to get embarrassed back-to-back years in their regionals. They're playing absolute dynamite baseball. I expect them to cruise through the rest of this. Can we talk about the Morgantown regional real quick?
Yeah.
How about the Batcats, Big Blue Nation? Got a little hairy yesterday, up 6-0. Then they get a quick 2. West Virginia comes back. Next thing I know, had a blow-up inning at 6-5. Then it's 6-6. And you're like, man, Kentucky just used up all their mojo. It's slipping away. West Virginia settled down. They're going to win this game. Nope. The Batcats forgot a way to go back up 2. So they end up winning the game by a few runs. Man, they're just playing free baseball right now. We keep saying it, and it's cliche to say, the play like you have nothing to lose. Man, it makes you so much more dangerous. I tweeted that out yesterday. I know you were all over it. We said on the show. But if you're West Virginia awake, now you're deep into your staffs. Kentucky's not. And they're playing free baseball. Man, that's tough. How are you going to be able to overcome that? I don't know if anybody can. Smitty, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia losing their best pitcher, looks like some type of arm situation there. They had to come back. I lost the track. I had his name. Now I lost it. But he threw. So, yeah, West Virginia is a little depleted here with the staff here. We'll get into the game with Wake Forest today and our thoughts here in a little bit. But, yeah, we've been saying it. And this Kentucky team is good. It's my favorite team. I really root for them. They just, you said it perfectly yesterday. Nobody thought they should get in. And, I thought they should have. And now you're seeing what they're doing. And, they're just a good team. And they're hitting the ball. I think their staff is, they have some good arms still available here. Hopefully they win this and they move on to the Supers. That would be fantastic. But I think West Virginia is in trouble today. I think they're out of arms.
I think they're feeling the pressure too. You're at home. You've now lost, like you said, they're out of arms. Do you, now you have to kind of fight to live tonight for all intents and purposes. I don't know if they can get there. Wake's bats are just really good. How deep can West Virginia go? The starter, I believe it's going to be Dawson Montesa. Started off the year really well, kind of faded late. I believe Ian Korn pitched yesterday. Somebody
Korn, that's the guy that came in.
Yes. So that was your other option. So Montesa has to be starting today. And then when we look at Wake Forest, I'm thinking it's Troy Dressler. Guy's got some starting experience. It's the only other arm that I can think of, unless they do kind of an opener role. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit. I want to take you to Lawrence. I want to talk about that Kansas-Arkansas matchup. Hunter Dietz, I think he went 6 1/3 or 6 2/3, 14 Ks.
14 Ks, yep.
Essentially unhittable. Arkansas just can't get the bats going. Little drizzle there. It just seemed like, I don't want to say the moment was too big or the crowd was too rowdy. It just seemed like they kind of just had a bad night at the plate. And credit to Kansas pitching. They stymied that offense who had been hot as of late. I watched Zach Stewart hit a long foul ball, and I'm like, man, if he goes straighten it out, they tie the game. Things change. And then he turns around and gets a strikeout, and you're like, man, this place is rocking. So credit to the Lawrence fans. I heard they're a little rowdy, a little negative, but nonetheless, that was a huge win. Can they keep that momentum and win the regional, Smitty, or can Arkansas battle back, figure out the bats late, and beat Lawrence?
It was the game. I know Matt was on and I was on. I had Arkansas. I still think Arkansas can win this regional. They got out 1-0, then they were up 3-1. They just, again, he was fantastic. 14 strikeouts, but they couldn't hold a lead. Like you said, they couldn't really get any of the big hits going. I think they're going to bounce back here in the first game of the day, and I think they'll have a rematch with Kansas. And I still think this team can come back. But we heard some wild stories about their fan base, but the crowd was, on TV, it was electric, a smaller venue. And they're chirping. They're chirping at the Arkansas people and the players and everything. So, no, it's a good atmosphere. But I think I'm going to still go with Arkansas. I still think Arkansas can come back and win this.
All right. Any other closing thoughts before we go to a quick commercial break from our sponsors?
Yeah, I just think I think, we talked yesterday on the show about Texas State. We thought, I think they were plus 3.5. And I didn't take it, but I kind of thought that one was going to be a really, really tight game, and it wasn't. So that one was really
until about the 4th or 5th inning, and then just the wheels fell off.
Yeah, it got bad quick. Yeah, because I was watching a little bit of it. I was trying to flip around all the games and catch a little bit here and there, but yeah, it fell apart fast. So that one was a little shocking to me too. So now, I mean, an exciting day again, and I think today is going to be fantastic.
I actually did have one more thought before we go to quick commercial break. Oklahoma State. Can we talk about that roller coaster of a team? I mean, Josh Holiday, the guy, they're showing him in the locker room or the dugout, and he just looks dumbfounded. Like he just can't figure it out at home. So then you send him on the road. You're like, hey, maybe it's just the pressure of playing in front of your fans. Dude, they should have lost that game last night.
Yep.
I mean, Mario Pesca was pretty wild towards the end in the last 2 innings. He couldn't find a strike zone. Do I think he was being squeezed a little bit? Yes. I think the umpiring has been pretty inconsistent across the board. I felt like he had some calls that didn't go his way that should have. You could see him get in his head. But, dude, it's Alabama State.
Yeah.
You are Oklahoma State. Like, you have Colin Breckham and you have other guys. I know you just lost Miola, one of your kind of leaders, but he's still there. It's not like he died. They didn't have a funeral before first pitch. Like, that guy, get him fired up. Get the team fired up. Let's go win a game. And, man, it just seems like they are just trying to lose. I can't get it, man. I don't understand how a team was so hot heading into this. And you, for all intents and purposes, Upstate and Alabama State should be a bump in the road for you. You should have had any issues with Alabama, sure. But holy smokes, you don't even deserve, in my opinion, to be in this game against Upstate. Now, I say that, and they'll probably win by about 19 runs today. But, they just haven't played good baseball, and I can't figure that team out.
Yeah, I kind of said I thought that one was going to be a really high-scoring game.
I thought the bats would come alive.
And I had to bring up the box score here. I mean, it was 0-0 going to the 4th. Oklahoma State finally put 4 on. Then, it got up to 15. I think it actually hit the over in that because I think it was 14 and a half.
It did. Yeah, 8-7 finally.
I mean, you needed the extras, but 5 hits, that's what I was shocked. Like, they had, 3 hits, like halfway through. It's like, what is going on here? Again, it's nothing against Alabama State. I mean, great effort yesterday, and thanks for being here. But 5 hits, let's go. Get the bats awake today. Yeah, they'll probably throw 20 on themselves today.
How did I forget? I know I keep saying one more. There's just so much action. You kind of get lost in the sauce. Can we just tell Missouri State never to come back? I mean, it's just a terrible performance.
Yeah,
we were on yesterday. They looked horrible.
I know you were on that. I was on that game. Yeah. I think Nick was on that game.
Dude, if you're Mercer, and I keep bringing up that sore topic, Ben Upton, he's probably not listening to the show anyways, but I keep bringing it up. Like Mercer, we talked about it yesterday. We talked about they're the only team that could kind of battle Georgia Tech at one point late in the season. You couldn't tell me that they couldn't give a better performance than Missouri State or Tennessee for that matter, or Binghamton. Now, I think Binghamton was an automatic qualifier, but you get the gist. I mean, a Mercer team that can hit the ball out of the stadium, and we have Missouri State that can't score more than 4 runs combined in the regional play and go 0-2 barbecue. That's just atrocious. I just, for a team that was supposed to be so hyped up, it was such a letdown, not only from a betting standpoint, but from a viewer standpoint. So I guess on that note, I will end. We could talk about Florida, Miami in a little bit, but before we go to the break, any other last thoughts? The last thoughts.
No, just some higher scoring games, and we're going to get into. I know I have DraftKings up. They don't have any of the totals up yet, but I think you had some. Florida was one. The offense really showed up. USC I'm glad Nick made that comment because I kind of like the under. I thought Lamar would pitch well. With Edwards on the mound, and then that was an explosion. That they scored 19 runs. So you saw some offense.
Santa Barbara hanging a 15
Santa Barbara,
spot.
Yeah, we were making fun. A lot of people must have watched the show yesterday and said, okay, let's shut some of these guys up on the show. We're going to put the offense. Santa Barbara came out, scored a lot yesterday too. And I think we joked that said that maybe they'll score like one run and they'll win 1-0 with 4 on the mound. So yeah, so
you take the over today and they'll score 1.
Yeah, they'll probably get shut out today. But so these teams, thanks for tuning in, but thanks for doing your thing. But we saw a little bit of up in the scoring, and I think when the totals, hopefully the books aren't going to be on the higher totals, and we can jump on some today.
All right, let's take a quick break, regroup, get a cup of coffee, refill it. 30 seconds from our proud presenting sponsors, Home Field Apparel.
Before we get back to the action, we've got to tell you about the best gear in college sports. The place to go is Home Field Apparel. Check out the Diamond Classics collection, high-quality throwback jerseys for your favorite team. From the Arkansas Razorbacks to the Vanderbilt Commodores, Home Field has you covered. Home Field's the only apparel partner of College Baseball Central. Gear up for game day by visiting homefieldapparel.com.
All right, let's get to the Holy Grail, the Bible of college baseball. collegebaseballinsiders.com. If you haven't got our guides yet, there's still time. They are updating as we speak. They are live updates, so you'll see, and I'll show you here in a second. You go here to the postseason hub. Now, obviously, I have backside information. Please sign up. You can still get the regional guide, the super regional guide in the College World Series for $25. You go to Barnes & Noble, you go to Harris Teeter, wherever you get your magazines. Each magazine is probably $19.99. You're getting all 3 right to your phone, your computer, your tablet immediately for $25. So you're not going to find a better deal there with more information. But one thing that's kind of cool to note here, UCLA has your record in the region, Cal Poly 2-0. The percentages here, if you guys have been paying attention, I mean, UCLA was 95% to start, 90 to 95% to start the regional play. Now they're obviously changed here, 43.6. Cal Poly sitting 23.5% increase now up to 54.3. You could see West Virginia was in the 60s. High 40s. They've come down 45%. And then if you click here, Scout Regional, quick breakdown here of the team. But then you go to the more in-depth. All right, so this is UCLA's full season. But guess what? It gets better. We have a recency tab. Look how bad they've been playing. I mean, full season, 293. Now they're batting 248, a 50-point swing. OPS is down. All that stuff matters, especially in tournament play. Who's hot, who's not. And then we have venue information, all the weather reports. Smitty was talking about the overs. We have your weather forecast reporting left to right, 10 miles an hour, weather, temperatures. Then we have more info, and you can see here, you'll see who started the game. It'll help you kind of figure out who's going to pitch today, tonight, tomorrow. So we have all that information. You guys should really check it out. It's second to none. You're not going to find that anywhere else. 2 games you'll see have scores. Still waiting for Ole Miss, Nebraska to finish. They're in the 8th inning. That game was suspended late due to rain. Coastal Carolina, same thing. Major storm in Tallahassee. Called out pretty early. So they're going to be in the 6th. So Mendez, Fluky will be out, presumably. Florida State up 2-1. This is an elimination game. So whoever loses that game will then have to turn around and play again. Potentially 3 games today because you got to finish this one at 11. Then you got to turn around and play the loser's bracket elimination game again. Then you would have to play the winner's bracket to send it to a Monday game. So we've got a lot going on there in Tallahassee. Like Cowarty's regional hosts are just trying to bust my bracket. Yeah, it's getting pretty wild, but there's still time. I think a couple of these will balance themselves out. We mentioned Auburn and some other teams. What do you say we go through this slate here, Smitty?
Yeah,
we're going to skip obviously these 2. East Carolina, VCU. I don't know who East Carolina pitches anymore. You know, dude, they've gone through about 19 arms. I got to think Norby is going to come out at some point today, especially in the elimination game in the Chaparral Regional. Let's look at this one. But they have that never die attitude. Whoever's coming on the mound may not be the most athletic, may not be the most elite, but they're going to pitch. They're playing VCU, who's playing really good baseball, but East Carolina is the favorites by 2 runs. What's your thoughts on this game?
This could be a higher scoring game, I think. Like you just said, I think with the pitchers, like who is ECU going to pitch? Now, if Norby would come in, then that's an elite arm coming in. What was he at? Like 60 pitches?
Yep.
On Friday, I think, coming back from. Yeah, VCU can score. And, man, you would have their pitching staff just – I would have to think they're going to give up some runs today too. So I could see this one being a high-scoring game right now. So total, I'm on nothing on this. I just think – again, I know our site really likes ECU, but I think with the question mark with the arms, I'm going to stay off of it. Now, total-wise, when it comes out and I see it, I might change my mind on that.
Both of these teams 8-2 in their last 10. 2.5 run differential for East Carolina, almost a 2-run differential for VCU. So very similar teams. DraftKings, consensus favorite minus 230, ECU plus 175, VCU. No total yet. No run line. So our site says East Carolina's about right price, about 253. I don't have that in Virginia, so I will not be on that. But I do lean East Carolina.
You're my offshore. Yeah, I'm probably going to stay off that either way too.
Miami Troy. Calera's pitching. He's pitched pretty well. I don't know who Troy is, man. That's a hard thing. These teams are just throwing everybody at this point in the season. You just don't know who's going to come out of it. Very, very tight game. Miami absolutely trounced 22-10 last night against the Gators. Game didn't end until 1 a.m. Quick turnaround. It's going to start probably 1:30. I think there is some weather in the forecast, so I could see a delay there, but any feel for this game? Troy battling back, Miami coming off a loss. Smitty, what's your thoughts?
I'd look at the total again. I mean, like you said, Miami gave up a ton of runs yesterday. They scored, still 10. Troy sleepwalking a little bit. Then they exploded late in their game yesterday. I think put up 15. So and then if, like you said, if there's some like delays and then guys have to come out and then you're going back to the bullpen. Yeah, I just, you're going to hear me say, I can't wait for some of these totals to come out today. I think some of these games could be very high scoring, very entertaining today if you like the runs.
Our books like Troy, it's saying they should be plus 126. You can get them at plus 145, so that's value. Miami showing minus 188. Our system thinks they should be about 126. So if you like Troy, there's the play. If you like an over, I do think Smitty's right on the money there. Calera's been susceptible to giving up runs. Troy, pretty decent hitting team, so I could see that. Liberty, Boston College. Liberty's played pretty well to date. Boston College without A.J. Colarusso. When we talk about them, man, outside of him, they don't really have much pitching. I got to think this is like you said, an over, depending on what it's priced, but can Liberty knock off the Boston College Eagles? High-scoring game? I think so. I think they're playing good enough ball to be able to make this interesting.
Yeah, sorry, my cat is back.
Oh, it's fine. We like the animals.
There could be equipment getting thrown off my table here. So, and I'm going to say it's not me, people, because sometimes I know I'm very all over the place and I make noise, and but this is not me. This is the cat. The cat loves the camera. He wants to be on camera. So no, I agree with you. I think this could be a high scoring game. I would lean Liberty in this. I know our site does. I think the pitching staff too. I just don't trust any after their ace. I think BC doesn't have much pitching. And again, I haven't been very nice to the ACC programs in this tournament so far. So I think they get bounced today.
Fair enough. Talking about an ACC team playing in Morgantown against a Big 12 team, West Virginia, we talked at them. I do believe it's going to be Dawson Montesa. My gut says Wake Forest is going to throw Dressler, but I haven't seen anything confirmed. Nonetheless, the site loves, whether it's Dawson Montesa versus Dressler or Montesa versus Duncan Marston, who would be another arm that Wake could throw. The site likes Wake Forest. It's actually our 3-star play in the postseason hub. In the Insiders Clubhouse. Right now, Wake Forest was even money. West Virginia was minus 135 early. I kind of lean Wake Forest here. We talked about the pitching. West Virginia's got to be feeling a ton of pressure. They had a game yesterday. They probably thought they could win. Ian Corn has to come in, so you blow that arm late. Really had options here. Wake Forest is swinging the bat hot, one of the better offenses in the country. I think they survive, and then you get a Wake-Kentucky matchup, which was the Friday night matchup. Smitty, are you in agreement?
Yeah, when I got on DraftKings. I was shocked that Wake Forest was the dog in this matchup. I know it's on West Virginia's home field, but I thought the same thing pitching staff-wise. I thought they used a lot of arms. I'm waiting for – I want to see a run line on this. If it's not heavily juiced with the Wake with the run line, then I might jump on that. But 3-star play. Then I got on our side and it was a 3-star play. So I really like Wake Forest in this one today. I think they get the win.
I want to see the total on that. If we could get like a 12.5 line, I think I would take the over there. I think that's going to be a lot of runs. Both offenses can hit. So that's kind of where I'm leaning line dependent. 13.5, I'm probably still considering it. But all right, we move on. Oklahoma Citadel. I don't really have a feel for this game just because I don't know who's going to pitch. LJ McCurious pitched yesterday for Oklahoma. Pitched really well. I just don't know who they have left. The Citadel swing the bats really well. I have no feel for this game. If you don't have a feel either, then we can kind of move forward.
No, I think Citadel, we talked about it. Nick was really on it yesterday about the offense of them. I mean, I'd look at a total on this. Yeah, I don't really.
They're worth a stab, though.
What's that?
9-1 their last 10. It's worth it if you like.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if you get them at plus money, Oklahoma's 3-7 in their last 10. Citadel's hot, 9-1.
They jumped out the other day on them too, pretty quick. I mean, they were winning. Oklahoma came back, got the win against them, but I think this one could be high scoring. I mean, you're like I said, it's the same thing. I mean, I want to see these totals where they're at.
Santa Barbara minus 154 earlier this morning against Tarleton State. My gut says Santa Barbara, but again, man, they put up a 15 spot. They didn't score 15 runs in all of May. Did they use up all their run production, or can they continue that offense and get to another game this evening? I don't know, man. To me, this is a stay away. I just don't trust Santa Barbara's offense. If I don't touch it, they'll put 11 up today. If I touch it, they'll hang 1, and they'll lose like 5-1. So it's going to be a stay away for me. You have any feel?
No, I mean, it's a stay away. You think Santa Barbara would get the win here, but like you said, can you trust the offense? I don't know if you can. Sorry, we're going to try to remove the cat here. So there's
you're fine. You're fine. I didn't even hear him, to be honest.
But no, I mean, they'll probably throw 12 up on the board, but I'm going to stay off this one. You know, Tarleton's really good offense. They can score a lot of runs. So again, this one could get a little crazy, but I think there's just better games on the board.
All right, Arkansas Northeastern. It's a parlay piece for me. I got Arkansas last night at minus 270. They're up to 315. So if you like them, you need to act fast. Parlay them with somebody. I think they handle Northeastern pretty easily. I think we get another Kansas-Arkansas showdown. And I do think this is one of the series that goes to Monday. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I played Arkansas, and like you said, they're really on the move already because I just got it a little bit ago. I had Arkansas minus 280. You said it's up to minus 315. This is a parlay piece. I think they handle Northeastern today. They play Kansas. And again, I agree with you. I think this series goes into Monday, and we'll see who's the champ out of this region.
All right, let's see here. Site's running slow for a second. I don't know why. All right, Auburn, I want to look at a run line here. I do think that they played pissed off baseball similar to yesterday. I know they gave some back, but then they immediately gave up. I think they gave up 7, and then they ended up hanging 2 or 3 right back to kind of kill the momentum there of NC State. I think the same happens today. I think Auburn gets right for the second straight game, comes out of the regional alive. The first team in their path to do that is UCF. Give me the Auburn Tigers in a parlay, hopefully minus 2.5 or smaller on the run line. I think they were minus 240 when I booked them. I'm sure they're a little inflated. Let's see here what we have. 250. Okay, so they're right there in line. Run line, our site says minus 3.7 favorites. We don't have one posted. So if I can catch that 2.5, I think I'm going to jump on that one. I think that's a play for me just to watch out for. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm on Auburn too. I did the SEC parlay this morning. I did Arkansas, Auburn. I got it at minus 109. That's my first official play of the day. Yeah, I just think, like you said, very high scoring game against NC State. They jumped out quick, 8 runs in the first. Pitching, a little bit of a head scratcher, like why they give up so many runs, but the offense. And again, UCF losing to Milwaukee yesterday. Milwaukee throwing a ton of runs on. I think Auburn's bats will continue to stay hot here. Let's get an Arkansas-Auburn winner early today.
I like that. BBN in the house. How about the Wildcats? Yeah, we talked about it. I've been all over it. Listen, I was adopted by Big Blue Nation. Took them on a date. I really wasn't feeling the pictures. And then when I go out to Lexington and I realize they're not that bad in person, they look a little better than their pictures showed. I got to support the blue and white, the Wildcats there. So it's been fun. I was the villain for 2 years. Listen, I'm in bed with them right now, all right? And we're having a good time. Da-da-da-da. Look, Kenny G in the background. Listen, don't ruin it. All right.
I love
forward.
Q finally got his head right. Let's go.
Still a Gator at heart, but I got to support them as long as they're not playing each other. I love those guys over there. Great hospitality. If you're ever in Lexington, please go check them out. All right, Oklahoma State. I do think Oklahoma State's bats come alive. I know yesterday we talked about they just couldn't even hit Alabama State. They're going to see Upstate again. We talk about bullpens. They're just shot. Okie State has nobody left. Upstate has nobody left. Well, the only other option is score runs and see who can score the most. So I think this is probably where you could look at an over 7.1 to 5.6. So our site's projecting about a 13-run game. I think that's fair. I think both teams can do it. So if we get like a 12.5 line, I think I'm going to jump on that as well.
Yeah, bats, wake up today, please. Score some runs.
Whew.
Don't have 3 hits throughout a game.
Yeah, no kidding.
No. Yeah, I think over for sure. Because again, I think Oklahoma State can just rake, and I think they're going to finally wake up today. I really do. But they'll probably have 2 hits today. So I don't know. Yeah. Let's go. Let's get the bats. Yeah, I'm all over. The only thing, team total too. I know that one guy said something about Milwaukee with the 3.5, but I'd like to see what Oklahoma State is. I think they finally wake up today.
I like that. Cincy, Louisiana. I don't have a feel for this game. I don't know who's pitching. It's probably a stay away for me. I just, like I said, no feel. Don't really know where my head's at there. Cincy obviously handled them pretty easily Friday night. Several home runs in that game. I lean Cincinnati just because of the bats. I have not seen a line on that. Maybe I just missed it. Do you have a thought on that one?
Yeah, over again in this. I played Mississippi State, Cincinnati over 12.5. It was a little sweat, and I actually went to bed. I stayed up until about the 8th inning, something like that, 7th inning, and I woke up and I saw Cincy finally got into the show a little bit with 5 runs in that. I think this one's a little bit more high scoring in that. I would go with the over in this, but no, I have no lean team-wise, but I just think Cincy's pitching staff will give up some runs today too, but I think their offense is really good. I think they'll score.
All right, I just lied. I put in a play. The line became available. Cincy, UCLA. I know I'm laying the juice, but I think UCLA is going to get to Cal Poly and beat St. Mary's in a rematch. So give me Cincy, UCLA -1. I think it was -135. Cincy was -180. I think offensively, now that I'm walking it through my head, I think they're more capable of scoring runs in a depleted bullpen situation than Louisiana. So give me those guys. Canes late. Yep, just to wake up and see the game is at 12. That was a tough one, Bub. That was a tough one. It was a tight game. It was 6-1. Then the next thing you know, you blink and it was 8-8, and now it's 22-10. Yeah, I mean, dude, the team's got like 96 errors on the season. the crowd at Conjuring was giving him a hell of a time, and it showed. You could see Van Sheehan was in his head. The freshman mistake, couldn't get over to third base to extend an inning. The walks, the bullpen just absolutely imploded. Smitty, college bullpens, it looks like a volcano or like a nuclear bomb going off when you get in the pen. So
especially maybe today too.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know who they're going to pitch. I mean, they threw Tate Darius. Outside of Calera, they're just going to start cycling those guys. I had to get negative on Twitter, the reverse jinx. I had to say Bilka was going to lock it down. I think he walked like 4 straight batters before they pulled him. So, listen, I got to do what I got to do. If I got to go against my own fan base and just start screaming how bad the Gators are to get a win, I'll do it. All right. Canes, he left before that 5-home-run inning. Dude, that was the longest inning. Crowd was great. Fans were nice. Yeah, very friendly. They're not hostile. It is what it is. Sometimes that's a negative. I wish Conjuring was as loud as they were last night more often. I kind of like a little chippiness, but nonetheless, they're not. It was cool to see last night. Hopefully they continue that on. Hitting 1-1 on all parlays, not bad. Bilka, yeah, Richmond transfer. Just didn't handle it. But we got to move forward here. Texas State, Southern Cal. Texas State jumped early on A&M last night and then just got absolutely boat raced after the 5th inning. Southern Cal throws up several runs yesterday. Not a team known for offense. We get a rematch here. Texas State beats them 5-4 Friday night. I got to think Southern Cal's pitching is a little deeper. Texas State's offense is a little better. It's a stay away for me. Are you playing this?
No, this was one yesterday when they matched up with Lamar. I was saying maybe the under, and then you and Nick were like, well, College Station, ballpark. We looked at the weather, the wind. It was blowing out, so I'm glad I stayed off that. Yeah, Southern Cal, not really an offensive team, putting up 19 yesterday against a really good pitching staff of Lamar. Texas State, like you said, got boat race. I think that was 17-2. Could this be a higher scoring game again, Q? Could be.
Maybe.
It's a stay away for me. If it would be a very low total, maybe take a chance with it and with the over. But right now, it's a stay away.
All right. I have Oregon State in a parlay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you who if you're not Insiders Clubhouse member, but I think they bounce back today. They lose 3-2. I think the guy Friday throws a complete game. Oregon State's pitching depth is just far deeper than Washington State has. Offense picked it up a little bit, 9 runs. I think they won 9-2 yesterday. I'm not saying they're going to boat race Washington State, but I think they do enough to win. Something like a 6-3 type game, and they get back to that Sunday night game to force a Monday against Oregon. So give me Oregon State in a parlay piece. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, I'm going to take Oregon State with somebody here. I agree with you. I think the pitching depth is a lead here. Washington State getting shut out yesterday to Oregon 4-0. I just think, the thing with the Beavers we've said all year is the offense. And I know they put up 9 runs yesterday, but that was against Yale. So I'm nothing against Yale, the baseball program at Yale, but I mean, I'm just sorry. I'm not that impressed. So
they're not the Bronx Bombers.
Yeah. Okay. So, Washington State too. I mean, usually, if you follow this team throughout the season, they can hit. Usually pitching staff gives up a lot. So I was a little surprised that was only 4-0 yesterday. I was shocked they got shut out. I'm kind of shocked that Oregon didn't do more against them than they did. But yeah, this is a good parlay piece. I think the Beavers get it right and they'll rematch against Oregon.
All right, Virginia, Jacksonville State. I don't have a line for this, but I would say over. Both teams deep in the bullpen. Virginia's thrown just about everybody they have. They can hit. They are missing Kyle Johnson, but Gracia's hitting the ball. I'm drawing a blank. The kid that replaced Eric Becker's smoking the ball. They're getting hits from guys that are about 133. It's just kind of clicking there. Jacksonville State can obviously score it. Pretty solid team offensively. Give me the over. I mean, we're saying this is going to be about a 13-run game. I think so, too. I mean, that pitching staff for Virginia is just atrocious, especially in the bullpen. You're already out John Peone. So there's one less arm that you can go to. You're getting deeper into that pen. Over. Smitty, do you have a line for that you can pull up for us?
Yeah, I can get on there. Let me see what it is. I was just looking. I couldn't remember the score on Friday off the top of my head, but 15-7 Jacksonville State over UVA. So I 100% agree.
Actually, we have Yeah, we have lines right here. I'm sorry. Completely spaced out there.
That's
Jacksonville
okay.
State, the favorites. Our site has them as a favorite, just smaller favorite. I would lean a total.
I would be.
I'll lean a total.
Yeah, I'm not going. I wouldn't lay minus 154 on this. UVA is a team that can really put up the runs. Again, their pitching staff. This one I think is going to be. I mean, coming off a 15-7 game with Friday, where you have your starters in there, you got your bullpen, everything. It was still high scoring. I think this one's very high scoring today. Hopefully, it's not a ridiculous number. Hopefully, it's okay. But yeah, I'd pound the over in this one.
All right, 2 last scheduled games. We could skip UCLA St. Mary's. I think UCLA handles business. Yeah. I'm assuming you think the same.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about the Johnnies coming out of pretty much nowhere. 15-6 conference. They've kind of taken the world by storm. They beat NIU earlier this weekend. Johnnies are rolling. Minus 135 on the books early on. Still not a bad price. I think they keep it going here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. I know Nick really
even money yesterday.
Yeah, he was really on this game, and it jumped because I think when we were on the show yesterday, it was like minus 115, and I think even
plus 100.
Was it then? I think then it went to minus 115. Then it jumped, and I think it got up to minus 165 because I matched them with Georgia Tech in a parlay piece yesterday afternoon. But then, this one never got on because I think Nick too said, like, I don't know if we're going to get a great number on it tomorrow. And again, St. John's minus 135. So I think some of our guys will like this game.
Yeah, I like the Johnnies here. I think they survive another game. I think they're in a good spot. They're playing good baseball here as of late, so I don't hate that play as long as it's not super juiced. All right, quickly, the games today are one of potential doubleheaders, so you really need to stay on your books, keep the phone, check the scores, because there's not much time left in regional play. They have to finish everything by Monday. They're going to get the games going, especially if there's weather. As soon as these teams win or lose, the next line's posted in a couple minutes, so like UCLA presumably will beat St. Mary's. You're going to get a Cal Poly UCLA line, and you have to be on it. We're not going to be live all day. So I do think UCLA forces a Monday game. I'll just give you that. I think I'm not sure if the Gainesville Regional will. I mean, I just think with Liam Peterson going, I think Florida could do enough today to get a win. So watch out for that one. I think, again, Arkansas today, look out for that line. I think the Arkansas-Kansas game will be electric tonight. I lean Arkansas in that matchup to set up on Monday. So just a couple quick leans here. We only have about 2 minutes left in the show. Any other spots where you think – I think Auburn's another one. Auburn, I think, handles business today, can get that done. Okie State should beat USC Upstate to set up an Alabama-Oklahoma State matchup that we've all wanted. So these are some lines that will pop up later in my assumption today. So just be on the lookout. Smitty, do you have any more?
No, you kind of hit on them. I think the UCLA one, I think that, like you said, I think they'll beat St. Mary's. You'll have that.
And they're going to be juiced. They're going to be juiced.
Yeah, Arkansas too. I want to see that one. That's one that when they get their win, I'm going to say it like that. When they get their first win today, Arkansas. Then when they play Kansas, I'm ready to jump on that one too if it's not a bad line because I think, again, that
one's going to be a pretty good line, I think.
Yeah, I think that one goes.
Ole Miss, same thing. Ole
Miss they got to finish this one. Yeah,
they got to finish the game. Now, presumably, if things end how it looks right now in the 8th, heading into the 9th, Ole Miss will then await the winner of Nebraska.
Can we please see good weather? Because I'm sick of winning bets that got voided. Because I had Ole Miss last night voided. I had the over in the Georgia game. They didn't finish it Friday, so that got. I mean. Give me a break. Play these games.
Man, I'm drawing a blank.
Please.
Yeah. Oregon State, another one that could force an Oregon State. That line will be pretty low, in my opinion. The West Virginia Wake Forest winner will then play Kentucky tonight.
Yep.
The Miami Troy will play the Gators tonight. Ole Miss. Why am I drawing a blank in the Lincoln Regional? It's Ole Miss, Nebraska. Help me out here.
See, that's why it's good to have a notebook. and I probably got
Who's Nebraska? Well,
they have Arizona State.
Arizona State. That's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
man. How did I forget about them? So presumably Nebraska, Arizona State matchup. Kind of lean the offense there of Arizona State just because of the Penn situation, but just be a lookout for those. That's all I'll tell you. I'm going to be tweeting it out. I know Smitty will be on the Twitter. Please DM us, send us a chat, comment. We're all pretty active on there, so we typically try to get to every content. TQ1219, always love having you, man.
Yeah, thanks for
supporting us. We do this all for you guys, not only just for ourselves. So we'll be on the Twitter all day long. Enjoy the baseball games. Probably not going to be on the air tomorrow for the if games. I'll start tweeting stuff out. We have real jobs, so we have to attend those tomorrow. But we'll still be able to give you some coverage. So for that being said, it's been a wonderful weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday coverage. It's the most we've done on the weekend. We love doing it. Probably try to do it next weekend in some capacity. If you got anything else, Smitty, we'll close it out.
No, enjoy the games, and hopefully we can cash some tickets and make some money today.
All right, Canes, we always appreciate you, bud.
Yeah,
thanks for
being
always
here, man.
tuning
Thanks
in.
for being here all weekend.
All weekend, guys. Great turnout on all the
weekend.
shows. So, all right, that being said, enjoy it. Spend time with the family. Great weather here in the DMV. Check out the games. We'll see you later.